The first song from Whitney Houston's new movie, The Preacher's Wife, is called I Believe in You and Me. And when I met up with Whitney and her husband, Bobby Brown, one of the first things I found out was that they believe in each other. America's favorite family, the Nelsons.
Here we are.
How are you, love?
Fine. How are you, dear?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
Bobby, how are you, man? Nice to see you. Well, let's start with the best news, because this is very cool. You're pregnant?
Whitney's having a baby. Whitney's having a baby. Bobby and Whitney having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how much you love kids, and
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
must be beside yourself.
I am. You know, it was very funny because I thought, God, you know, and something's wrong. You know, something's right or wrong. I don't know what's happening. And I was recording, and my voice just wouldn't rise, you know? It's like the estrogen had taken over at the progesterone level. So I went to the doctor, and that old EPC said, woo!
It's blue!
It's blue! It's a plus!
That's great.
I believe in miracles.
Whitney's voice has never sounded more full of life than it does in the first single, I Believe in You and Me, from her new movie, The Preacher's Wife. The film's soundtrack combines what are sure to be pop hits and inspirational gospel music.
I did The Preacher's Wife, and I didn't quite know what to expect, you know, because I didn't know, like, all right, what am I going to do? What songs am I going to do? But somehow the songs just fell into my hands. Here I had 10 songs of great gospel, you know, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go in there. And, man, I went in that studio. I was hoarse half the time because I was on the set for the most part in, like, 26 below zero weather. And then, you know, and all that madness. Yeah. Your voice has, you know, it affects it. So I stayed really, like, raspy. So, but it came out great because gospel is a very hard-edged kind of music. You know, you got to sing gospel. You can't be singing. You have to sing.
S-A-A-A-N.
There you go. There you go. You know, it took me right back home. Oh, no. He's away. Oh, oh, no.
Did you kind of try to mainstream the gospel edges of it a little bit so that it would be a little more commercial?
I wanted it to be universal. You know, I didn't want it to be so hard that people couldn't get it, you know.
Right.
I didn't want to slap them upside the head with Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to beat them down with God, you know. I just wanted to sing how I felt. That I believe in you and me.
With what is sure to be another best-selling album, a hit movie, and a baby on the way, Whitney still plans on stopping and smelling the roses. Are you going to cut back on your schedule now because of that?
Absolutely.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to eat now.
But you're not showing or anything.
No, but you know, the first 3 is like really a trip because your body's taking on a new transition.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know anything about this. You should ask your wife. Really.
She really didn't talk to me through most of the pregnancy. You know,
Well, then you know. I'm not really
thing.
talking to Bobby too good.
Is that right? Well, Bobby, I can sympathize, pal, believe me.
He said to me, you hate me.
Is it something I said?
And I told him I'm just going through changes, you know. It's like your body's getting ready to take on a life. So this is like...
Or take a life.
One or the other.
You're going to take me out. Whitney's new song called I Believe in You and Me hits the radio today, and The Preacher's Wife soundtrack will be in stores 1 week from today.
Your son's 2 years old. Is your wife talking to you yet?
Not yet.
Lorenzo Lamas and wife. That with Mel and making her new movie, The Preacher's Wife, but she promises us that it's not just the love story co-starring Denzel Washington that will lift you up. Whitney Houston pours her passion into the gospel songs from The Preacher's Wife. The movie's soundtrack mixes pop and the traditional religious songs, and the superstar believes that audiences will embrace the uplifting movie and the music.
The music supports the movie, so hopefully they'll combine the two and they'll get it and they'll enjoy having seen what they saw and come back home and play it and remember the good feelings that they felt during the film.
In the movie, Whitney's marriage to preacher Courtney B. Vance hits a rough spot, and Dudley the Angel, played by Washington, steps in. But there was no song for a key scene between Whitney and Denzel.
It's for Denzel and my skating scene. He takes me to the park, my son and I, and we go skating. So this particular song, and I tell you something, I had to find this song, because we didn't have a song until like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Enter Babyface. The producer-songwriter turned out hits for Whitney on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, and she asked him to do it again.
We got to get a skating song. We got to get a skating song, so I'm counting on you. Come on. Who would have thought of it, that I might feel like...
The result of her pleading with him is this song, My Heart is Calling.
My only reservation is you, my sweet sensation, baby. We we talked over the scene.
Right.
You know, and again, Faith and I, like, we like osmosis, we transmit to each other, okay, the scene is, and you know, and he goes back home and he writes these songs, and My Heart Is Calling came out to be that.
Nice skating song. In anticipation of huge sales, the record company has shipped 4 million copies of The Preacher's Wife soundtrack to stores. They're due to go on sale today, and then the movie The Preacher's Wife opens on December 13th.